Part 4. Hibiscus leaf. Yi Yang looked at concubine Ling with an innocent face, and asked back, "Didn't you say that?" The servants have to salute when they see the concubine, or they should be beaten. "Didn't I strictly enforce what you said?" He slapped the eunuch in front of him with such a force that his hands were faintly numb, and when he looked at the eunuch in front of him, he slapped blood from the corner of his mouth. Concubine Ling was speechless, but the fleeting fierceness in his eyes did not escape Yi Yang's eyes. Since everyone had already offended him, he was completely offended. He slapped the eunuch who had beaten Xiao Doubting until his face became red and swollen before letting him go, and turned to look at the eunuchs behind him. The eunuchs in the back were horrified by Yi Yang's stare, and hurriedly knelt down to meet Yi Yang. The servants pay tribute to young Master Yi. And I wish young Master Yi a good luck and peace. Since the latter are so sensible, Yi Yang will not look for them. Troubled, he glanced at the two rice bowls that fell to the ground, bowed slightly towards concubine Ling, and left with shouting, "Damn!" Concubine Ling Gui, who was deflated in Yi Yang's hands for the first time, kicked the eunuch next to him in anger. The eunuch was in pain, but did not dare to cry out. Concubine Ling looked at Yi Yang's back and said viciously, "Yi Yang, you wait for me, if you don't give up your position as a concubine. This concubine swears to never give up." Yi Yang returned to the Jinyang Palace. Xiao Doubting immediately knelt on the ground, and said with a thick nasal voice, "Young master, you should not be a servant, your situation is like walking on thin ice now. If you offend the noble concubine, the situation will be even more dangerous." He knew very well that Bai Jiyu, who was in the new position, coveted the position of concubine of his master, and if concubine Ling went to the emperor to blow the pillow wind, the emperor would definitely remove Yi Yang from the position of concubine and beat Yi Yang into the cold palace. The cold palace. That is the place that all the concubines in the harem are unwilling to go. Instead, Yi Yang thought of the word cold palace as long as he entered the cold palace. Does that mean he doesn't have to serve the emperor? Thinking of this level, he was still a little bit looking forward to it. If Xiao Doubting knew what he was thinking, would he vomit blood and die? "Master, tonight's dinner was accidentally knocked over by a servant. Or the servant will go to the imperial kitchen to ask for some food." Xiao Doubting stood up and was about to leave the Jinyang Palace. "No need." Yi Yang waved his hand, signaling him not to go. "It's not that he doesn't know that the main meal is 3 meals a day, so don't even think about taking it again after you get it. If you want extra meals, you have to pay." Holy crap, capitalism. Everything needs money. Thinking that his small treasury was about to bottom out, Yi Yang desperately wanted to make money. But what to pick to make money first? Not to mention paper and gunpowder. When he tossed out these things, everyone might starve to death. So annoying. Yi Yang squatted in the front yard of Jinyang Palace, looking at the flowers that were vying to bloom in front of him. He complained, "Why are you not vegetables? I can pick them and eat them." Huh? Yi Yang stepped forward to observe carefully, and suddenly his brows rose. "Fuck, hibiscus. This is actually hibiscus." Xiao Doubting looked at Yi Yang, who was ecstatic, and replied weakly, "Master, this is you can't eat it." I thought to myself, I still wait to go to the imperial kitchen to see if there is any food left. Why can't you eat it? This thing can also be used in traditional Chinese medicine. Yi Yang didn't explain it, because he was inspired now and said to Xiao Doubting, "Bring the wash basin." Xiao Doubting's face was full of question marks, but he didn't ask any more. He turned around and entered the hall, and then ran out with a copper basin. By the time he came out, Yi Yang had already picked a lot of hibiscus leaves. "Master, why did you pick this?" Xiao Doubting asked in confusion. "You'll find out later." Yi Yang knew very well that people of this dynasty were still washing their hair with grass and ash water. If he washed his hair with hibiscus leaves and then promoted it, would he be afraid of running out of money? It seems that there is no soap yet. They are making some soap. In order to please the supreme man, someone in the palace will definitely pay for it. Anyway, the palace did not prohibit private transactions between concubines, so he took this opportunity to make a fortune first. There are many hibiscus in the yard. Yi Yang picked a little in the east and a little in the west, and soon picked up a wash basin full of hibiscus leaves. Xiao Doubting, go to the kitchen and boil some warm water, Yi Yang commanded. There is a kitchen in each hall for the concubines and concubines to eat, but because Yi Yang is too poor, he has not eaten in his palace for a long time. Okay, master. Xiao Doubting thought Yi Yang was going to wash up, so he hurried to boil water. After Xiao Doubting had boiled the water, Yi Yang had already crushed the hibiscus leaves, and the sticky green juice looked a little disgusting. Young master, what are you doing? Xiao Doubting looked at the juice in the basin. To be honest, he wanted to vomit. Come on. Now is the moment to witness the miracle. Yi Yang poured the green juice into warm water, then loosened his long hair and started washing it. To be honest, Yi Yang was really not used to washing such long hair for the first time. Fortunately, with the help of Xiao Doubting, I quickly washed my hair. After washing my hair, a faint scent of hibiscus leaves wafts out of my hair, which is very nice. Young master, it's so smooth. Xiao Doubting patted Yi Yang's long hair and praised it. He didn't expect that unknown flowers that had been planted in the courtyard for so many years could still be used to wash hair. More than that, if you wash your hair with hibiscus leaves for a long time, it can moisturize your hair and make your hair black and shiny. Yi Yang wiped his hair with a towel. Thinking that hibiscus leaves can still be eaten, he said to Xiao Doubting, this is the leaves are edible, pick more. And we'll eat it for dinner tonight. Is it really edible? Xiao Doubting was skeptical. You can eat as much as you can, pick more. Since Yi Yang had said so, Xiao Doubting didn't doubt him, and began to babble about the hibiscus leaves in the yard. After eating the hibiscus leaves that tasted really ordinary, the burning stomach was healed, and then Yi Yang and Xiao Doubting, who were a little lost, continued to slap the hibiscus leaves in the yard. This time he didn't pick much, just picked the hibiscus leaves from the wash basin, and then started to rub it. After all the essence in the hibiscus leaves was rubbed out, he asked Xiao Doubting to find 2 small pottery bottles and put the hibiscus leaves. The juices poured into the bottle, and then stopped. Looking at the 2 fist-sized bottles in front of him, Yi Yang was very happy, because this is what he will sell tomorrow. But this was not enough to satisfy him at all. He put 2 bottles of hibiscus leaf essence in the room, then went to the kitchen, took out the ashes from the stove, diluted it with water and set it aside to settle, and instructed Xiao Doubting to take the oil to come.